Here we have our harvest, and we have some very powerful 30% hydrogen peroxide. Just put a tablespoon in there, a little less than a tablespoon, and that's very powerful to disinfect any critters and bacteria off in the stream. In this particular case, the greens are really clean as far as particulate matter and dirt, you know. There might be other times, sometimes with cilantro, for example, a lot of mud is clinging to it. In this case, we don't really have that, or else I would have rinsed this a few more times already before doing this part. This is also a product that we sometimes purchase on the market. It's not totally necessary, but it's more handy for spraying actual cucumbers and bell peppers and whole items. But looks like the active ingredient is citric acid probably from orange seed and grapefruit seed. So, but sometimes I'll spray this right in here too, into this mix. Maybe a little more water. All right, we have our deluxe industrial size salad spinner because we have ambitions of serving millions and trillions of satisfied guests here on our organic permaculture farm. So look at that. See there? Industrial size. Perfectly clean. We keep this thing hydrogen peroxide and everything. So we don't really need something this big right now, but we like it, and this is what we use because we visualize lots of people coming here. Okay, so here we go. Another useful thing is to just, you see here, there's particles, right? Now a lot of that will be also filtered through the cracks of the spinner. But what we really would like to do, we want to always conserve water because we have catchment water here. But we will run it just briefly. We'll take it out of the hydrogen peroxide water and we'll loosely rinse some of these particles off of there. Little bits of dirt and mud, which will remain behind in this bowl. Now we'll just take the rest of our greens. Delicate balancing act here. I might rinse them off a little first this time and dip them in there. I really want to expose all the surface area of the leaves to the hydrogen peroxide in the water by really turning them over. In general, it's better to do all the big leaves at once and all the smaller leaves at another time. On this particular day, we happen to put them all at once, so it's really important to make sure that the little pieces of baby kale or whatever it is, see, all the surface area has been touched. As long as any part of these leaves are just touched by the hydrogen peroxide water, it already kills the bacteria. It doesn't have to be really scrubbed or anything. So, we have done that. We've mixed it around, contacted the hydrogen peroxide water to the leaf. Now with cautiousness to water conservation, we gently rinse that off. You see, we all have that consciousness, like, I wouldn't just leave that running and, even in between, I'll just turn it off because even though we're on an island, we get our water from the rain. Oh. Okay, so we have a little more greens here. Look at that, fresh greens. This is our third harvest from our new garden here at the Hawaiian Sanctuary. Got all kinds of exciting things like daikon radish green, Mizuna kale, Jacinto kale, oregano, lemon balm, lemon basil, all sorts of good stuff. So I was just showing our dish consciousness with the chef. We do have helpers and dish angels, but this is the thing where, this is not a burnt on stuck pot or pan or anything, so I just quickly dip it into our dishwater and our dish system, do the quick sanitizing. So this dish is now done. It's not added to the bulk of the helper's duties. This is how we show kindness and love for our dish angel helper, our daily helper who helps the chef. So we have this Vitamix here. We might not have time to completely wash the thing, but I'll at least, this is our pre-soaked bin, so I'll put it in there and I'll even agitate the food a little with my hand, stir it. a little wash my hand, and I'll go back into work as the chef. Here's our greens and our deluxe size salad spinner. So the way the salad spinner is designed, it has the inner basket, you know, with the holes through there, let the water, and then on the bottom, this whole thing has 4 openings so the water drains out as we spin it around. And that's why we're outside right now. Otherwise, we'd be time to mop the floor. Okay, so here we are with our deluxe salad spinner. This particular specimen, as does happen sometimes to mechanical devices, especially in tropical areas, the mechanics of it sometimes get slightly challenged. So the gears on the top that crank it around are slightly stripped, like a screw on a screwdriver gets sometimes. So I'm cautiously... See, our food becomes our exercise. I'm getting a nice horse stance here. I'm doing all sorts of stretching. And so here we are doing our salad spinning. Like I said, this particular machine is a little stripped, but we're all about sustainability, so, and using things for a long time, and also incorporating your physical exercise and maintenance and preventative injury prevention by exercising your body during your work. So I'm getting my posture down instead of standing like this and hurting my back over time. I'm taking this chance to actually get a little forearm workout, and you know, I'll sit here and check my posture. I'll do a little back cracking. This is all built into the kitchen work. So I've managed to get some nice amount of speed going here, which is the key for drying it. Let it go on its own there a little bit. I'll tilt it. You can see the water still coming out. Brilliant device, actually. And these larger ones work great even for smaller amounts of salad like today, because it's just really effective at the water draining out. As opposed to the smaller ones, they work well, but they break down even quicker, and they're less effective for draining. Okay, so here's our greens that we just washed with hydrogen peroxide water, and we've spun it in the spinner. And it's good because, you know, it's still moist. We could spin it a few more times, but that's really nice. I'll get the cup out here and do a little shake, right? Shake, but not bake. You turn this thing around, move it 6 inches each time, tilt it on a diagonal, and smack that thing and let it... Oops, going to lose a little bit of the baby one, so that's okay. And that's it. That's the perfect amount of moisture to still be on there. And a lot of times what I do is I'll fluff that up. Like let's say this is leaf lettuce, romaine, and kale and stuff. I'll fluff that up and sometimes let these sit there just a little bit, 20 minutes or half hour while I'm doing other things, and then I'll make my salad. It'll continue to evaporate a little more. Or sometimes we actually take this, each time we take a bunch and cut them, we will tap it on a clean paper towel or a clean towel just to get a little more of the water off. So here we are with our spinner, and we're taking some of these greens. They've already been dried pretty much, so we've got some 2 clean towels set here. And just kind of like tap them a little bit, right? And then I'll put that over and I'll lightly kind of tap that, and that's got some more of the excess water off, right?